Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nala with Luna Intuitive, coming at you with the reading for the sign of Pisces. This is going to be for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Looks like one of my cards is flipped. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of February 2020. This is going to be a heal your soul or a soul healing spread. I figure everybody else is starting off with love readings because February is Valentine's Day month. I figure I start off with soul healing, because in order for us to find that real love that kind of lasts, we need to heal first so that we can pull in someone that our soul vibrates with. Okay, so this is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I feel like there's a lot of depression as I'm like saying Pisces. Like it feels like there's heavy energy, unbalanced energy. Okay, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We have take time to breathe out, take time to exhale, relax, accept, regroup. The full moon comes, and when it comes, it brings all this change. And then when it leaves, which this is the moment of when it's leaving, you're sitting there with the situation of everything that has the abrupt change, and you're sitting there like, well, what's next? What do I do with this? So with this card, it's kind of like your situation has reached that peak, and then now what you do with it is regroup and learn from your experiences rather than blindly just forging ahead. You know, it's kind of like you're facing the changes that came with that full moon, and you're like, okay, this is what happened. Let me get it together. Let me learn from this and, you know, move on. You got to have faith that whatever is happening is for your greater good. You got to try to accept the way things are now and give yourself and others time out to relax. So if there was a bunch of people involved, you want to give them time to relax as well as yourself. Breathe, 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 breathe. The card does say breathe. We can't do everything on time. We can't do everything at one time. So if a lot of you felt like you've hit obstacles or failed in some type of way, this is now the time for you to reflect on those things and how you can do it differently if it was to happen again. How do you approach a situation differently next time? And you got to be honest with yourself. You know, if you feel bad about your current situation, you got to remind yourself that life goes in cycles. So if something is making you feel off, you're going to repeat it until you learn the lesson. So if you're feeling bad about it, you know, most likely it's going to come back around and you're going to be able to approach the situation differently next time. I feel like with this card too, if there's a situation where you're not understanding where you stand, you should know where you stand very soon. Either now or very soon, because some of you might have already realized, like with the full moon energy, like, oh, this is where I stand. Some of you may be finding that out. But either way, it's time for you to share your wisdom and experience from this lesson with someone else. That way you can kind of pull yourself out of the slump, you know, because this card feels like heavy energy for me. Some energy of depression, some energy of being down, laying in a bed, not really wanting to partake in many things. So if you turn to people who you can trust, which not everybody have people that you could trust, you know, I get that. But if you start talking about it or sharing your experiences with someone else, then what happens is you're talking about it, which is going to pull you out of that energy, and it's also going to help someone else who possibly is in that energy now, or they're going to be in that energy soon. This is the first moon phase after the explosion of the energy that comes with the full moon, literally. So no matter when you see this card or when this card is pulled for you, Pisces. Okay. Gotta get back to my train of thought. And I was just shuffling the cards just to shuffle them, and the full moon came out. Wow, a lot of full moons came out. Full moon in Virgo, Aquarius, Leo, Gemini, waxing moon, another full moon, super moon. So basically, whatever this is, probably you've been going through this for a few cycles, which I did say to you, if you're feeling bad about it, the situation, life repeats in cycles. If you haven't learned, it's going to come back around. Point that I was trying to make is, no matter when you pick this card or when this card is drawn for you, Pisces, it suggests that you're at a more tranquil point in your life cycle of whatever situation that this is pertaining to. This is not the ideal time for you to start something new. This moon phase is all about chilling, breathing, relaxing, giving yourself some time off of work, time away from the children, time away from housework. You gotta chill. And you gotta think about what has happened in the past in order for you to move past it. Tranquil, is that the right word? It's kind of like peace. You gotta allow yourself that. But if you're feeling that heavy energy, talk to someone. Okay? Alright. I was just shuffling the cards because sometimes occupying my mind with something else allows me to flow better with energy. Alright, so we're going to pick out 4 cards. If I feel the need to pick out 5, I will pick out 5. But right now, I'm going to put this moon here because I have a feeling we're going to be talking about it again. If I feel the need to pull a 5th card, I will. But we're going to stick with 4 cards. And right now, we're going to do Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Current energy for the soul healing. Pisces, one more shuffle. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Soul healing. We have the 4 cups. Let's just show it up close. The 4 cups. I think this deck is a beautiful deck. I see the blue again. And the blue feels like you're kind of like, sad, depressed, maybe pondering over things. I see more blue here in these butterflies. This is you losing interest in things that you were once passionate about. This has been on the account of your actions and no one else's. No one else is to blame for this. This is your doing. You are possibly refusing the help from people who care about you, even though you know that you need the assistance. I did tell you with this energy here, talk to someone, share with someone, because it's not just for you, it's for somebody else too. You being unhappy is leading you to disconnect with nature and people you love and who love you. And I feel like that is a big negative for you right now, because when you have the full moon that comes in and you have that phase after the full moon, you need people around to be able to assist you with all the chaos that's going on. So it's like you're turning everyone away. And that's not a good thing for you in this case, okay? So, what part of the soul for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus needs healing? We have the Empress. Creativity. What are you trying to create, or what was you trying to create? Are you trying to create a legacy? Do you need help? You know, again, you're turning away people who care about you, who could possibly help you, and you need the assistance. You're trying to create something. Some of you are trying to create something, or some of you are trying to build something or plan something. And you're doing it all by yourself with no help, and you're turning people that are trying to help you away. It's going to stress you out. Accept the help that comes in. This card is saying that you need to put your creativity into action, make it happen, but you need to do that with people sometime, you know. Sometimes you need that help. I look at her sitting with her cat. You ever heard that story with the woman and all her cats? Like, it's kind of like that energy, kind of like she's by herself with just her and her cats. But either way, whatever you're trying to create, you need to make it happen, even if that means you're starting from scratch and you have to build your way up. This card also says that anything you want to create is definitely possible. So maybe you guys are having some type of party, ceremony. Maybe you actually want to create a business or start a business or create a clothing line. There's something you want to do. Something that you are building, or you was building and maybe it failed, and maybe that's why you gotta go back and trying to pull the card up, but here we go. Maybe you gotta go back and reflect so that you can learn from your past mistakes and then start all over. Anything that you want to create is possible. Sorry about my notifications. Anything that you want to create, Pisces, is definitely possible, even if you failed out at it. And that doesn't just mean, you know, a party or a business or things like this. You know, creating also is motherhood, whether you're male or female. Maybe you wanted to create a family. Maybe you wanted to start a family. This Empress, she also, for me, I look at her and I see motherhood. Motherhood applies both to men and women. It doesn't have to be like, you know, fathers can be nurturing as well. Nurture, that's the word. Someone or something. The next card, put it right here. Someone or something that needs nurturing. And I feel like that could be you at this point. Hence why you need to stop turning people down from when they ask you to help. This card also can represent a female figure, whether it's a stranger or a family member. So the card that fell out for you next is how you can heal your soul, is the Three of Cups. You need friends. Because the Three of Cups is celebration. You know, maybe you're planning a party or something like this, or you're building something. You need friends. In order for you to have a celebration, you need friends. You need to be able to have a good time. Healing your soul, you need to be able to have a good time. Get out of that slump. Because a lot of you are in that slump of the Four of Cups. And you need to enjoy and have a good time. And I look at this card and she still got that blue dress on. So maybe she's still on her feelings and her emotions. She's also holding a cup. But this tells me that you need to be able to have a good time, celebrate something, surround yourself by people who give you joy and people who you feel comfortable with. Life is a celebration. I feel like a lot of you like to entertain, and through your entertaining, you inspire people, and you gain most of your friendships through that type of energy. And if you do that, all your unhappy moments of the past, they will literally become moments of the past. At least that's how I see it. I feel like her eyes are big, kind of like Cancer, like, you know. And like that's why I was looking at the card, like she's wearing that blue dress. And I think of Cancers, and I think of like the big, you know, doughy eyes. And it's like she still have that energy with those eyes that are big like that, which means she still probably feel a little bit of sadness. You know, she's still mending, but she's putting forth the effort by putting herself out there to celebrate and be amongst people who actually care about her, celebrating, even if she don't really feel like celebrating, you know? I take that. So in order for y'all to like pull yourself out of that energy, you actually have to like go and do something. Go and enjoy life. But you can't do it alone, Pisces. I'm like, that's the biggest thing that I'm feeling here. It's like, whatever it is that you're doing, you can't be alone, because that being alone just drags you deeper. You know? Like I look at the Empress card, like I'm looking at it now, and she's actually crying. You know? And she's holding on to her cat. She's by herself in this point, like in this card. So even though the card doesn't say anything about this is what I'm seeing. Like when I do any readings, I ask my guides to give me the messages the way that I'm able to hear and see them, to translate them, to get the message across. And what I'm seeing is she's crying. And I just said to you that this looks like the Cancer eyes, the big, pretty, doughy eyes. You know, Cancers are very emotional at times, you know. And it's like she's not crying. She has eyeliner on her eyes. You know, she's putting forth the effort, celebrating and moving forward with her friends. Or throwing a party where she could create and have some friends. And I think that's actually more so the energy. And then when you have those friends, you accept the help that they're willing to offer you. What is the outcome if Pisces take the advice? Not getting any cards. Pisces. Outcome. I'm going to take the advice that's given. One more. The King of Swords. You step out of your emotions. You step out of your feelings, and you'll start being more logical. You'll carefully produce your ideas. The energy of the King of Swords is futuristic. It's progressive. It's consistent. Very logical in thinking. Aquarius rules friends and friendships, and I find it interesting that we're actually in Aquarius season. And I told you need to get with, you know, some friends. You need to be around friends. This is Aquarius season. Rules friendships and friends. You want to take time away from whatever busy schedule you have to think of a way you can deal with personal problems that are hindering you from doing what you want to do. You want to avoid staying stuck in the same place. This is the advice that I'm hearing. You know, if you do the work, you're going to end up in a logical place. And they're telling me what you need to be avoiding. So you want to avoid staying stuck in the same place where you're unable to move when you feel stuck. And you got to remember that when you allow yourself to be stuck, it's something you brought on yourself. For some reason that keeps coming up for me, Pisces. It's something you brought on yourself. So whatever this situation is that you started out in the beginning with, and I was telling you to reflect upon it and learn from it. You know, you can't stay in this energy. You got to allow yourself to be creative and be amongst friends in order for you to think logically. And if you feel yourself backtracking or backsliding, you got to take time. Back to this. Take time and breathe and rest. You want to don't allow yourself to be stuck. Don't allow yourself to get into that energy of being stuck. Because that energy will allow you to be depressed, and then you'll go further down a rabbit hole. And that's something you don't want. So, basically, you can pull yourself out of this energy. Be amongst people who care about you. You want to celebrate. Wow. I wasn't going to pull another card for you guys. But it's also saying to detach. There's something that you need to detach from. And you also need to have patience with yourself. I feel like this is something that you don't want to detach from. Might be a person, might be a job. I wasn't going to pull any more cards. And those two came out. So, the way I'm seeing it like this now, if this is a situation that involves love, you've been through this cycle already and you're repeating it. And then you start seeing, you see the situation exactly for what it is, what it was. So then you kind of get yourself in this state of mind where you don't really want to be bothered. You just want to be by yourself, and you want to kind of like cry and be, unbothered by people. She's all about creating things, but if you notice, she's crying. So maybe you are a mother, maybe a baby mother, baby father, something involving children. Could be because I think of this card as a mother type figure, and it doesn't have to be female too. It could be male too. I don't do gender unless it's told to me. And you feel alone, and you have to step yourself out of the sad energy and allow yourself to be creative and go back to doing what it is that you wanted to do, whether you was building something, creating something. And you need to be amongst your friends. You need to celebrate with friends, people who love you, people who care about you. And then what happens is you move out of that energy, and now you're more smart. You're more logical. You're not using your emotions here. You're focused. Aquarius is all about friends and friendships. You want to detach from the situation. And I just was told to say it just like that. And you want to have patience with yourself. And again, there's more blue in there. So at the same time too, there's blue with the King of Swords. There's blue with the detachment. It's a different type of blue, but it's blue. Speak. Talk. Don't keep nothing in. Because keeping it in is only going to hurt you more. And I look at this Empress card. In the background there's red. She needs to ground herself. Because this Empresses, they're never crying. But in this deck, she's crying. Ground yourself. And she's wearing a color green, which means it's something involving her heart. Matters of her heart. So if this is love, remember you allowed yourself to be put back here. Because this is about cycles happening, it's a repeated cycle. And you learning from it. And then you're going to be tested with it again. And that's how you know if you learned. This could be a job that you was at for a long time too. But once you get logical and you start thinking about it in a logical way, you'll be able to move forward and past it. And you have to detach yourself from that situation, and you need to allow yourself to have patience. Patience more so with yourself. At least that's how I see it. That is how I see it. And I wasn't going to pull any more cards, but, they came. It is what it is. I do as I'm told. All right, Pisces. Let me know. Peace.